Greetings again, YouTube. Um, Today, we should talk a little bit about some easily obtainable, farmable, fusible tunes that anyone can acquire that can help you get into Dragon's B10 and speed up your run considerably. If what you are looking to do is improve your the speed at which you're trying to get those really nice runes that are going to help you out, well, there are a couple of tunes that can come to your rescue if you decide that's what you want to do. And the tunes we're going to talk about today for this video are going to be these five guys right here. We're just going to talk about the Spectra, Bella, Megan, Pheromos, and Mr. Sigmaris there. So I don't necessarily use these guys for my personal Dragons B10. This is what I use right here because it's the fastest for me. It never fails because I like my Vertihill. But for this video, we're not going to show the run that I use, like my speed run. We should show like the farmable version of the speed run, where you can use and accumulate these guys just by simply picking them up or fusing them. 2 fusible Nat 5s and 3 3-star monsters. Let's go grab our timer real quick. All right, so we'll start us some runs, and we'll show off a little bit of the nuking power of Sigmaris and the utility of Spectra and Megan here. So first off, we should probably talk a little bit about Sigmaris. I recently re-runed the Sigmaris that I fused a while back. I've never really used him. I fused him, but I never really used him. And I started fooling around with him in different dungeon scenarios. And I kind of discovered or figured out that he's incredibly useful for this run right here, for this particular dungeon. And, well, like everybody knows this, obviously, by now. But this particular dungeon here is what's going to get you the really nice runes that allow you to do things like clear TOA and have fun competing, busting people's asses in the arena and having a defense that's going to hold up and having great success in Guild Wars. It's really more about the good collection of violent, revenge, endure type runes that you're going to get from the Dragons B10. And so yeah, I figured out that this Sigmaris guy, even though I wasn't really using him and he was just sitting in the monster box, he was performing really well in this dungeon here. And also partly because of his skill animations, right? He's not one of these tunes that takes like ages to, uh, you have to like watch him put on a big show before he actually does what he's supposed to do. His animations are smooth and quick. There's not a whole lot of junk going on with his animation. So he makes for he makes for really great, like fast dungeon runs. And yeah, when you just want to get in there and do it as many times as you can, as fast as possible. Um, you want a tune like Sigmaris, under 230 there, not bad. Um, we'll reset. So yeah, what like I put in the last video, I decided to put a bunch of Devilmon I have saved that are really there's other Nat 5s that haven't been worth the Devilmon yet into Sigmaris here because I wanted to use him for this purpose right here. And yeah, what he does well is blow up stuff. Like, you know, that was like a 17k hit on an armor broken target. And his little AoE spell does pretty good damage to those bosses and stuff. Um, so yeah, he's not just useful in Dragons B10 though. There's a lot of other great uses for Sigmaris. Um, really great performance in Giants B10 as well. And there's a lot of Trial of Ascension that he can be really useful in my opinion. And there's even arena teams that you can take him against and have a lot of success blowing up. Um, and in this little run, like here, what we're doing is we're using Sigmaris as the leader for his insane 4 hit points in the dungeon leader ability. And what this does is this makes it to where this a run such as this is has a really high success rate and is possible. The more glory buildings that you have and the better your runes are, um, the better a run like this is going to be, obviously. But for that 44% leader skill just goes to, oh yawn, that 44% leader skill just goes to whatever their base hit points is. So your runes and your glory buildings and everything are just a bonus on top of that. Um, so yeah, there's a reason why Comtuous made this guy fusible, and it is because he can help out your progression if this is what you're looking to do, and you have runes for him, and you got some Devilmon for him that aren't worth putting in other Nat 5s, so to speak. Um, so next, we should probably talk about why we got Megan in this setup. As we all know, Megan is a really, really easy to get tune, easy to get the skill up. But not so many people nowadays are 6-starring her, and you really don't see her used very much in and like higher arena rankings because yeah, she's just not popular. But I build this Megan for this just to fool around with it and to use in this Dragons run right here. And the main reason why I built this Megan was because her artificial intelligence on on the second skill she has that removes buffs and blocks beneficial effects. the artificial intelligence on her in dungeons such as this, she will save that move and not use it. Like, if I don't know if you've noticed watching the runs, but you never see that little thing pop up on anybody's head because she won't use that move unless somebody has a buff. And this is really useful on the dragon because every time the dragon puts up immunity, if that skill is available, she's gonna use it and try to take off that immunity buff, like as soon as she can. Um, so yeah, I mean she's not like the most overpowered toon. She doesn't have like the greatest stats like a Nat 5 would, but when the coding is perfect, she's gonna buff the attack power and the defense of your team, and then in a scenario like this Dragon's Run, whenever you got to deal with that immunity, look at her. She just like as soon as it goes on, she goes and slaps it off, and the rest of your party can just go ham. Um, it makes her brilliant for a run like this, in my opinion. Um, that and she also puts this little one turn dot that really does significant damage. Um, Considering that with this particular run, and we'll talk about this here more in a second. This particular run here, you can get dots to tick on the dragon. Like with this combination of guys, you can make it to where every single dot you put on the dragon does damage. Um, so yeah, that's Megan for you. And she's water, of course. So when it comes time to not dying in a dungeon like this that's fire, um, she survives really well. Um, so we won't really talk about Veramos so much because everybody talks about Veramos. We've talked about Veramos before. He's here. We all know what he's here for and how he does such a good job of it. But now let's talk a little bit about why Spectra is here. So it is a shame that he has this animation for his backlash skill that doesn't do damage, right? You have to, for a second, every 3 turns or so, you have to watch him not do damage. So that doesn't make your run go fast, but it is extremely useful. When he casts that move, it's almost as effective as, like, say, a stun would be, right? Because he's slowing everybody down and he's also reducing their attack bars, and that makes them not go before you blow them up. And if you blow them up before they go, you don't have to watch them move, right? So that makes your run faster. You make these little towers not shoot you. You don't have to watch them shoot you. Then it makes your run go a little faster. But the primary reason he's here is because that backlash skill, with good accuracy, he will land it on the right tower here. Okay? And when he lands that backlash skill on the right tower, and you're using Bella and Megan to take that immunity buff off, you're gonna have ages to just go ham on this dragon when he doesn't have immunity. So look at the speed on the right tower, right? Look how long this team gets to just beat on him before that right tower casts the immunity again. Right? I mean, it still hasn't gone up. There's a likelihood that Sig will nuke and the dragon will die before the immunity goes up. There you go. See, look. Brilliant. So yeah, that's why a farmable monster such as Spectra can get in here and make your dragons run like outrageously fast. And then, of course, you need Bella because he puts the armor break on everything, makes stuff die faster. He heals your team. And just like Megan, his artificial intelligence in this dungeon will also save his seize move for only when something has a buff. I don't understand why he doesn't necessarily do that so much in arena, but for dungeon content like dragons and giants and stuff, he does a really good job of not using that move until he knows that a target has a buff, and then he'll go after it. And the combination here of a leader that blows up stuff fast, gives people hit points, and then 3 tunes that can manipulate the speed on these towers here and take the buffs off the dragon. It really allows you to come in here and make this run go by a lot faster. So this right here, this will be the last run with this team that we'll show or what have you. But then after this, we'll go take a look at the runes on like Spectra, Megan, and Sig, and we'll talk about why I have them runed that way. So, as a disclaimer, this is the really nice, fusible, farmable Dragons B10 speed team right here. But it doesn't necessarily have to be the one that works out best for a player such as yourself. Like me, for instance, right now, I'm not necessarily using these 5. I use a slightly different run. There's tons of setups you can use, but the one underlying factor here is that Megan can be extremely useful in this dungeon. Spectra can be extremely useful in this dungeon. You need Bella to be up in this dungeon if you want to have success, in my opinion. And that Sigmarus, even though he's not like the most popular 5-star in the world, he'll help you get really great runes over time if you're patient, and that's what you're looking to do. So yeah, we'll close the timer. There's all sorts of combinations that you can use for the same goal, right? Trying to make dragons faster so that you can get more runes, get more mana, right? The more mana you have, you can power up stuff, and when you have all the mana that you want to be able to power up runes, that can also make a huge difference in how you're enjoying the game. So first, I put this in my last video, but we'll take a look at it again. We got Sig here, and he's high crit rate, high crit damage. Tried to make him not slow, but we really don't care too much about hit points, and he's set up currently as an attack monster on Violent and Nemesis with attack and crit damage and tap. And yeah, his is good. I know that, but yeah, I mean, you get a chance to see what like a good runes on a Sigmarus performs like. Spectra, maybe some of you guys have seen this. Mine's rune for hit points and accuracy. He gets speed from his Swift set, but what you go for on the runes is the hit points and the accuracy, because his job is to slow stuff down and reduce their attack bars. This little move right here is a bonus. I mean, you probably saw it does some pretty good damage, even without like attack and stuff, but I just don't want my Spectra to die, so this is how I have mine ruined with a Swift set, but with hit points on 2. And then accuracy. And then more hit points. Shield runes, because believe it or not, those shield runes will prevent somebody from dying at some point or another. Maybe you saw a little bit of it in some of the runs there. Megan! I don't use mine in Arena. I don't use it for anything but dragons, really. And giants. I'll throw in giants every now and then, too, just for kicks. Have mine set up for kind of like Bella, Violent Guard. With tried to get some speed and super high accuracy, right? Because you want to land her dots, because her dots do significant damage to Mr. Dragon. They really do. And you want to take off that immunity and not fail at removing that immunity. So this skill, and this also goes without saying, it says blocks beneficial effects with 1 turn for a 75% chance, but it removes beneficial effects with a 100% chance. Just like Bella's skill removes beneficial effects with a 100% chance. There are shit tons of monsters out there, like Eladriel, this water serpent, the nine-tailed foxes, pioneers, all these other teams. There's a lot of them that remove beneficial effects. Most of them don't have a 100% chance to remove beneficial effects. But Bella and Megan here, they only got to deal with that resistance check, and that's it. And that's why they're really, really useful for making these runs go by really fast, because you can count on them. You don't have to worry about them failing. All you gotta do is make sure they don't get resisted, and that's kind of easier than you would think. So yeah, she is Violent and Guard with like speed and accuracy and hit point subs. She doesn't need attack. She does damage with her dots. And by casting this and making everybody else's damage go crazy. So yeah, that'll be it for this video. That's kind of just what I wanted to talk about for a little bit. How anyone, if they wanted to, could slowly but surely come along and fuse up this guy, and collect you some super easy to get 3-star monsters, and make, oh, that's the alarm, probably alarm, and and make the speed at which you're trying to get good runes go faster, so to speak. So yeah, I hope it was fun. If anybody has an additional request for like things they would like to see that might have interested you in some of these videos, feel free to post a comment or something, and we'll catch you next time when we have something else that's fun to do. Take it easy.